Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial, we'll look on a Filter Forge editor and we'll look on a components that is provided. Okay, so right here, you'll notice we have the first average color component. Let's put it in. And one thing, it doesn't accept any input because it is using the image that currently preloaded in our Filter Forge. So the average color component will extract the average color from the original image that is currently loaded in our applications, and it will using also producing result color based on RGB model of the channels by calculating on all pixels of the image. This is very useful when you start working on color correction on all image and you want just calculate the average color for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete. Next, we have the frame option. And this is a very specific and unique type of component. It will accept the content of original image. But the unique of this, it's a perfect to create the frames because it is aware of the size and boundaries of the original image that coming as a content. Because this will accept all HDRI map inputs. We also have, notice we have an inner frame option. So let's go ahead in our garden. We can set option for inner frame. We also have it same for the outer frame. We can control the margins for our image. Right here you can see. And one thing you can notice, it's kind of stretching because it is have the boundaries of original image. So it's kind of going borders around this. We also have it options to control the frame width, the margin width. And we also can control different type of the corners. And currently you can see it's accepting map input and we have it gradient. So, and based on the value of the gradient, we can have it sharp or very smooth corners. And again, if we look over inner frames, that will define the color of inner frame. Outer frame will define outer frame color. Margins will define the color of the margins outside the outer frame. And we also have frame width, which is specify the width of the frame. We have it also margins width, which we can specify or by dragging. And it's also accepting the map input, so we can control it by single color or by the gradient. And we also have the corners that will define how round corners it is. We also have additional options for the proportional or fixed size. When we turn on the proportional options, the frame width, height, and margin are proportional to the image width and height. So right here you can see how we apply it. And a fixed size, when it's turned, it's prevent the global parameter size from affecting. So in some cases, if you have it non-standard size, you probably want to use this, so it will be applied. Okay, let's go change this one and enable. Okay, also we have additional options that accept the curve that it's called bevel. So let's go ahead, connect to this. Okay, and bevel will determine the transitions between the colors of the inner and outer frame. So you can say if you want set a bit more in a step instead of smooth curve. So in this case, you can determine of this bevel, and you can see right here we have this gradient kind of step applied, and because we're using stairs type of the curve to control the bevel in a way, it will be inner and outer frame will kind of combine together. Okay, so this is about in our external, and we'll look on the frames. So let's go ahead next, and we'll go look on an image. An image is all what we're using. You notice image, it's an input node that will display a current image that loaded inside Filter Forge. It does accept HDRI images as well. Okay, next we have maximum and minimum levels. So let's look on both of them. They're very similar. So in this case, what will happen? We have this node will accept the image map input, and maximum level component will scan through pixels of all original images that loaded in Filter Forge and extract maximum grayscale levels for the RGB type colors, and it will ignore the alpha channel information of any preset. The minimum level will act same as a maximum, is only will take scan through all images, and instead take maximum level, it will take the minimum level of this grayscale. So by combining two of them, they're very useful to use it on any tonal corrections that you want to prefer for your image. We also on both of them do have options for the mode, and we have the gray level mode or RGB level mode. The difference is when grayscale level is enabled, it will scan and will perform on a just grayscale channels, and if you're using RGB, it will perform same scan and for the all RGB levels. Okay, same will apply for minimum level. Next, we have its selection option. And the selection options, currently you can see it doesn't display anything because it will accept it selection that provided by other editor. Example, if you open filter, have it selections in the Photoshop, and when you have it selection area and you open inside Filter Forge from the Photoshop, this information of the selection will pass inside this node. So when you work and creating specific filter for the Photoshop, you can set as input image for all and just for the selection and work together with them. So let's look as example on this. I'm going ahead and exit this, and I will open selection in Photoshop. Okay, so right here we have an image, and I'm go ahead and create some selection. So let me have a selection tool. So right here, for example, I selected just one face. We'll go now to filters, and we'll go launch Filter Forge 2. Okay, right here you can see we have some selection applied. Okay, and we have our source, and as well we can go ahead and select selection. You'll notice at this point the alpha information of the selection does pass to our filter. So in that case, we can go ahead and modify just this option of selections, and also we have all our image right here as a result. So in that case, when you start creating your filters, this is will tied up to the applications that actually call Filter Forge from with to modify the image. So right here we look on all our externals, and our next tutorials will look on the gardens.